King Timo, are you worried about the defense who allowed so many yards to a subpar Giants offense? A little bit. The one thing that makes me feel better about it is they forced 2 turnovers. I'll give up a lot of yards if I take the ball away. If in the end you keep teams out of the end zone, that's the number one goal. That is the big concern there for me for the Cowboys. I do think that defense needs to be a little bit better. All right, World of Grace, Fellowship Union, New Jersey, which is frankly a longer YouTube name than you need, but I respect you for sticking with it there. He says LVE had pressures, not Jaylon, that they reversed the roles. That's a fair point. Vander Esch did have a half sack in this one and a hit as well. Jaylon, meanwhile, again, wasn't really involved there, which I find interesting. The roles kind of were reversed. I think they'll kind of rotate them, but I think they'll be fine. TKG wants thoughts on Week 1 in the entire NFL. My number one takeaway, and I will put it back to a Cowboys-related one because this is the Cowboys Report. It's almost like if you let quarterbacks throw the football, they're actually pretty good at it. Looking at Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott, 2 guys I've liked and have had to deal with Twitter people telling me Lamar Jackson's a running back. Dak can't throw deep downfield. It's almost like they were held back by their schemes. It's kind of crazy, right? All right, for sure gaming, rank our offensive linemen from best to worst. Okay, I'm going to go with the starting 5 only, and I assume full healthy. So I'm going to go Zach Martin. Give me Tyron. Give me Frederick. Give me Lael. And give me Connor Williams. Then there's a drop-off. Then I'm going to take Joe Looney. Like a big drop-off, like below this table here. Like Joe Looney, Xavier Su'a-Filo, and Cam Fleming kind of all, well, Looney, Fleming, Su'a-Filo. There you go. All right, Tom Downey fan account. Are you worried about how Tony Pollard played? Yes and no. They didn't really utilize Pollard a ton in the passing game. He only played 22 snaps. 8 of them were pass plays. He mostly was just the backup running back in this game. I'm not going to overreact one way or the other to Pollard. I didn't think he looked that good on the ground, but it's fine. It's Week 1. He's a 4th-round pick. I just want to see him get a chance to return a kick this year. That's the big thing I think you want to use him for. And really, maybe get him involved more in the passing game, but you didn't need to really beyond the middle of the third quarter, so why show it? You can use Pollard in that way, but that's a game where maybe you don't even want to detail what you've got planned going forward if you're Kellen Moore. All right, guys, our friends over at BetDSI are hooking you up with a fantastic deal. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code BOYS25 for $25 free. Yeah, nothing, no money, no credit card down there. Use promo code BOYS25. They will give you $25 for free to bet with. I told you to bet on against the Cowboys over the Giants in Week 1. On the Cowboys over the Giants in Week 1. Very different terminology there. Bet on the Cowboys in Week 1. Do it again in Week 2. You'll make some more money. I went 5-0, hit my parlay this week on BetDSI. All right, Gary's saying next up here, is Dak closer to a deal since he had a good first game? I do think Dak is closer to a deal. I don't necessarily think it's only because he had a good first game. Maybe if Jerry was truly in charge, he would. But remember, this is the Stephen Jones show now. Stephen runs it, and Jerry comes out and says, a deal is imminent. And then Stephen Jones next day says, yeah, well Jerry has a different definition for different words. I think it'll get done, but it's not necessarily imminent. So let's kind of keep that in mind. So I think a deal is getting closer. Maybe it's a mid-October, maybe it's a September deal. I don't know yet, but I don't think Dak's team feels the need to rush into a deal right this second. All right, next up from Ezra Moore. How many yards will Zeke have on the ground against the Redskins, I assume you mean here? One big boost for the Cowboys is that Jonathan Allen, one of, I think, the most underrated players in the NFL, along with his teammate Ryan Kerrigan, who's underrated. But Allen will not be able to go in Week 2 coming off of an injury. That's a big boost for the Cowboys, who historically haven't had the most run success last year against the Redskins, because they upgraded their defense in a big, big way. I'll put the over-under at 72.3. Why the 0.3? Because I felt like it for Zeke Elliott. All right, Manny Fresh 769. With Quinn coming back week 3, who gets left off the D-line rotation? It's a good question. Barring an injury, I think there's a very obvious one. It's the one who's been inactive and isn't the most recent second-round pick. It's Taco Charlton. Now, if you mean the guys who have been playing and you want to inactive somebody else, Joe Jackson is probably the next guy to be a healthy scratch there. So, in terms of the roster spot, I think Taco, for now at least, is the odd man out. And then for the inactive list, Joe Jackson makes the most sense to me. Again, barring other injuries. All right, DeLunatic, will Trysten Hill be a healthy and active this week? Yeah, I kind of think so, yeah. Like, if you look at the snap counts for the defensive linemen, and who are you going to inactive, right? Like, Malik Collins played 51. Well, you're not going to make him inactive. Antoine Woods, he played 32. Are you going to make him inactive? No. Chris Covington played 30, and he is a good, I think, rotational guy with Antoine Woods, and he can play the one technique. Not many of your D linemen can do that. Crawford played 30. Jackson played 26. So it kind of comes down to Hill versus Jackson, and with Crawford having inside-outside flex and Hyder playing well and Lawrence coming off the injury, I don't know how much you're going to see Trysten Hill unless he gets substantially better in practices. All right, Michael Laviscount, do you think the O-line is that good in pass protection, or was the Giants' D that bad? So it's a little bit of everything, right? For starters, the Cowboys' offensive line is good. The follow-up there is that the Giants' defensive line and pass rush is not good. Like, two of those things can coexist simultaneously. The other thing I think helped make the pass offense O-line look better there is that Dak got the ball out quicker, and there were several throws. I'm thinking of the Michael Gallup deep route down the sidelines where Sewell didn't have the best pass protection, but unlike last year, Dak didn't panic and leave the pocket. He stood strong and delivered a perfect throw. So that's the big thing for me is that, yes, the O-line is good in pass protection. The D-line for the Giants was not very good, but also Dak Prescott was better. So all those things together work out pretty well. All right, Trevor, he says I wants to know if Dak will be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I have Dak Prescott in my main fantasy league. I hope you see a scenario where he is a top 5 fantasy quarterback. We know how inconsistent that can be, but he's going to be a quarterback 1 for you in fantasy. He's been that his entire NFL career. He'll be it again this season. So I think you have a good year for Dak. All right, Mikhail Kinley Safronoff, if I got that right. Awesome. If not, I'm very sorry. How many more carries will Zeke have in week 2? I think a lot of it depends on the game script. He had 13 in week 1. I'll put the over-under at 18. Maybe it's more like 17. A lot of it depends on the game script. If the Cowboys are up big again in the fourth quarter, they're going to pull Zeke out and not put him out there, which, by the way, is what they absolutely should do. I think you get that type of scenario where maybe it's closer, but by the mid part of the fourth quarter, they don't need Zeke out there, so that kind of reduces his workload, which is good for his long-term health there. But I don't think you see Zeke get 25 carries because, frankly, I don't want Zeke to have 25 carries in week 2. I want another blowout in which he kind of sits again in the fourth quarter. Now, we will have highlights for you from that Cowboys-Redskins game and grades as well. So make sure you are subscribed. The link there is below. Get notifications turned on. We got all kinds of stuff for you. News, highlights, rumors, and, of course, this mailbag fan-led content for you guys as well. So keep that in mind, folks. Really do appreciate it. All right, I believe this is a super chat coming in here next up from Bijan Manzuri. He says it is a super chat, by the way. Oh, Bishan, thank you for that. I will try and make a mental note of that because you also put that in a super chat. Bishan, it makes a lot more sense. Thank you. If Cobb impressed this season, do we re-sign him? I think that's what you mean. I think for Cobb, he's gonna play this out. he's going to try and extend it as far as he can and get paid again next offseason. I think this could be a one and done for Cobb, where he goes, cool, thanks guys, I'm going to bail after this year and get paid somewhere else. But if he wants to sign cheap like he kind of did this year, I'm in for more Randall Cobb. All right, Master Fame, a super chat. He says Xavier Woods stock up. I think that's fair. He didn't have his best game, but he did force the fumble. That's a big deal for me. I thought his coverage was okay. I thought he was average to above average. That was not quite the breakout stock-up game, though, that I feel very confident we are going to get in the very near future from Xavier Woods. All right, guys, question for you now. Who deserves the game ball from Week 1? You can see it there at the bottom of your screen. I have my answer. Cut the ball in half. Give half of it to Dak Prescott and half to Kellen Moore. These are my rules. I will make them, and I will break them as needed. So let me know who you guys think deserves the game ball for Week 1. I think it's Dak. I think it's Kellen Moore splitting it equally. I see Kellen. I see Witten. I don't know about that one there. Gallup, LP. Can always give it to LP. That one's totally fine with me. I see Cobb. I see Gallup, Zeke. You can give, I think you're right there, Bo Nord. He says in half to Gallup. So we'll split it up. Half to Dak, half to Kellen, and half to Michael Gallup there. The math totally checks out on that one. Fredbeard, I like having Frederick back there overall. I think that's a big thing in there. I'll keep reading some of these off here, guys. Someone says me. Well, thank you, Tom Downey fan account, but I don't think that's fair there. Danny says Jerry Jones. Okay. Entire offensive unit. That's also an acceptable answer here as well. Dak in the O-line. Dak stock up. That makes sense as well. Someone said other kickers. That's fine. I don't know who's talking about there. Jeff Heath Bruh, so the opposite on that one. Jarwin for Elijah Porter. I think that one all makes sense as well. All right, a super chat coming in here from Tom Downey fan account here. He says, hashtag Cowboys, looking good in that suit, Tom. Where'd you get it again? And then throws in the pitch the sponsor here. First off, very smart. I like this here quite a bit. So, again, this is provided by Kashiyama, the Smart Tailor. Go get your free fitting. Check them out here at Kashiyama1927.com. They gave me this free suit. They are right here in Dallas. They are literally right down the hall from us. So if you want to get on the show, let me know that you got fitted. Let Mick, your custom suit tailor, know as well, and we'll get you on the show. But thank you for that super chat, guys. If you missed anything coming up or missed anything on the show, it's all coming up here. The news on Jordan Shana and Chris Covington, and some stock up, stock down from Week 1. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.